with Deeply Merited Scholars, your number one plug for everything scholarships and international studies abroad. In today's video, we will be sharing success tips on how to apply for the Chevening program as an African and Cameroonian in particular. So what is the Chevening program? The UK Chevening Scholarship is to do a one-year taught masters in the United Kingdom. A lot of people know about Chevening scholarships, but what you fail to understand is Chevening offers both scholarships and fellowships. This will be detailed in this video, so stay tuned. What is Chevening? Chevening is the UK government international scholarships program funded by the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office and partner organizations that offer awards to study in the United Kingdom. So there are two main things this video would address: the scholarship and the fellowship. Let's begin with the scholarship. The application period for the 2022-2023 academic year is currently open. It was opened on the 2nd of August 2022 and the deadline for application is November 1st, 2022. If you want to know more information about the Chevening Scholarship, we highly recommend that you visit the chevening.org website where you can have more information. At this point, I'm going to be sharing specific things that you should take note of before you apply. So as earlier mentioned, the UK Chevening fully funded scholarship is to study a one-year taught masters in the United Kingdom. Great news! Unlike some Commonwealth scholarships that require you to submit a dual application, one via your nominating agency and the other through the online portal, the Chevening Scholarship is not like that. What you do is you submit a direct application through the online portal. The next thing you should know about the Chevening Scholarship is they select applicants from all over the world. This should start to tell you that your application is going up against applicants from all over the world during the selection process. Take note. In order for you to apply, you are required to choose 3 courses and apply for these 3 courses separately in 3 different universities. Let me explain. You should have 3 different courses in mind. Mind you that these 3 courses you have should be similar but not the same. For example, you want to do a master's in law or aspects of law. You're expected to choose 3 different programs which are similar in terms of their objective and which are similar in terms of the outcome you're going to get from these programs at 3 different universities. And you are expected to have an unconditional offer from at least one of these universities on or before the 13th of July 2023. That means you're submitting your application now with the hope, if you do not have an unconditional admission as per the time you're applying, you are submitting your application with the hope that your application, any of the 3 universities you have applied to, will be successful on or before the 13th of July 2023. I want to take our time to explain the difference between a conditional offer and an unconditional offer. A conditional offer is admission given to you by the university. For example, universities may require that you show proof of language proficiency. You may have all the other documents and the university board and the university admission board would validate it, but they would question whether or not you are proficient enough in the language to come and study at their university. So they may choose to give you a conditional offer telling you that upon submission of your English language test results, they would give you an unconditional offer. That is a conditional offer. Unconditional offers, as often stated in the admission letter, will state that you have been given an unconditional offer and you may be required to show proof of original documents when you get there, but then they have given you an unconditional offer with no conditions attached. So please take note of this. The Chevening Scholarship Program requires you to have at least one unconditional offer on or before July 13th, 2023. So it is recommended that if you cannot apply this year, you can start to prepare against next year by doing what? Getting admissions. You can start to file in for admissions at universities, which will come out sometime in January or February 2023. So that by the time you are applying for the 2023-2024 session, you would already have your unconditional admission letters at least by that time. But then again, if you still want to go through with this session without having unconditional offers, make sure that you meet up with all the university eligibility requirements for the program you are applying for. Either of these universities can give you an unconditional offer on or before July 13th, 2023. Once you have your unconditional offer, you can always upload it on your application portal, okay? Make sure to remember your login details. That's your password and your username. And the username you use when you're applying online for the Chevening program is going to be valid even after the deadline has passed. So make sure to keep your login details so that you can upload your unconditional offer when you get it. If you apply without having it yet, you are only permitted to choose a one-year full-time master's program and nothing else. You cannot take a master's research program. Okay, so this is time for some explanation. There is a difference between a taught master's and a master's of research program. I'm going to use a simple example for our understanding. If you go to our French state universities in Cameroon, you're going to hear the term Masters 1 and Masters 2. Masters 1 is the first year of doing all your Masters 1 entails you going through your coursework and completing it. Masters 2 now comes in with coursework plus research. So the Chevening program offers a fully sponsored scholarship to do a 1-year taught masters. So when you're applying to universities, make sure that you're applying for a 1-year taught masters. Don't go applying for their 2-year research programs. This may affect your selection during the application process. Take note. The next thing you have to be mindful of is you are not permitted to enroll in any pre-sessional courses unless approved in programs such as law, math, and the sciences. What does pre-sessional courses mean? What do they mean by pre-sessional courses? You may apply to a university. As earlier mentioned, using the language example, you may apply to a university. All the other documents you're submitted are good, but you fail to have proof of maybe language proficiency. And they say, okay, and they give you a condition. Okay, when you come to study this program, you have to enroll for pre-sessional courses such as English language so that you are up to date with the standard of English we offer at this university in this country. Mind you, pre-sessional courses are charged. They are not free, they are charged. So the Chevening scholarship does not accept to pay for pre-sessional courses. Even if you can afford it, they do not accept for you to take on pre-sessional courses. What they want is come, do the program which you were admitted for, and be done within the time frame of your scholarship. So please take note of this. I think a lot of people face issues at the point of understanding some of the requirements for the Chevening scholarship. So please take note, you are not permitted to take pre-sessional courses. However, there are exceptions. If you're taking programs in math or law or the sciences, they usually have mandatory courses, which may not be part of your major, but they will require that you take it as part of the program. Once your university states this, make sure to inform the Chevening Secretariat. Once you become a successful applicant, make sure to bring it to their notice. It's not like they wouldn't know, because of course they will communicate with the university. They are going to communicate with the university directly, but bring it to their notice as well that you have mandatory courses to take in function to the program you're going to study. Another good news about the Chevening scholarship is the fact that if you have a master's, it does not stop you from applying for another master's program. The only condition here is that you must give a justification how the master's you intend to study is going to benefit your career plans. Worthy of note, you must show proof of work experience. In fact, work experience is very important when you are applying for the Chevening scholarship. The Chevening scholarship requires you to have a minimum of 2,800 working hours. That will be automatically calculated when you put in your application on the online portal. I'll give you a practical example. In Cameroon, our level code states that you have 8 working hours, that you are expected to have 8 working hours in a day. So imagine that you work 8 hours in a day. Multiply the 8 hours in a day times 5 working days a week. That will give you 40 hours of work. You take 40 hours a week and multiply it by 18 months of work. That will give you 2,800 hours. So on the average, if you have such a schedule of work, you are expected to have a minimum of 1 year, 6 months working experience. Deeply merited scholars will recommend that if you have above 18 months of work experience, you should apply for this program, because that is the requirement for you to apply. Do not apply if you do not meet up with this particular eligibility requirement, because you're going to get sifted out easily. The next thing you should note when applying for the Chevening scholarship is the fact that you will have to write essays while applying online. And these are the things you should note when writing your essays online. Number 1, no copy and paste. They will ask you a series of questions. Let me say, for example, question 1 to 5. And they will give you a word count for each of the questions they have asked you. Maybe for question 1, they will ask you your motives for wanting to study the master's program you're applying for. And they'll give you a word count of maybe 200 words. Please, don't write 25 words and end there. Make sure to write at least, if the word count is 200, make sure to write at least 180 words, not surpassing 200, but close to 200. Please understand this particular aspect, okay? Don't give one sentence answers for your essays. Remember, it's an essay. That is the opportunity for you to express yourself while applying. So make sure that you respect the word count. Do not do copy and paste. Referring to the previous example of maybe question 1 asking you for your motives, maybe question 4 will be asking you about your post-study work plans, what you intend to do with this master's degree once you complete. Don't go and copy excerpts from previous questions or question 1, question 2. Don't go and copy and come and paste in question 4. This will reduce your chances of selection. And I'm going to explain further about the vetting process so that you understand how copy and paste is going to affect your application if you do copy and paste. And the last thing when writing your essays, avoid plagiarism. If you've ever studied abroad, you know how serious plagiarism is. Avoid it at all costs. Make sure that whatever information you're putting there, if they are not coming from you, if you are taking it from someone else's work, make sure to cite them properly. Because the first vetting process goes through the machine sifting phase. This is already me telling you the vetting process, but then I will give more details of it shortly. The next thing to consider before applying for the Chevening scholarship is the fact that you have to submit 2 reference letters. So when you are applying on the online portal, you have to put in the names and email contacts of 2 references. The good thing with them, as opposed to other scholarships, is the fact that they do not require your referees to put in their recommendation for you directly on the online portal. On the contrary, you will be the one. You are just going to put in their information and follow up with them to send you their references directly. Once your application successfully passes the first stage of selection, you will be asked to put in your reference letters by yourself on the online portal. You see the reason why I said even after applying, make sure to remember and save your login details on the portal. So you're going to do this yourself. So you're going to put in your references yourself.